Good morning, everyone. This is Lola Wrist with LolaWrist.com. I am doing this as a Facebook Live, so if you'll give me a moment, I've got to get it pulled up on my computer, and we'll get going today. Okay, so today I'm going to play with the Deckled Dies, and I want to show you how you can take these and you can adapt them so that you can get multiple die sizes out of it. Here we go. I had to find it. I was off. There we are. Okay. So a lot of our times we can go directly with the size that we have in the set. But this one bothers me. Good morning, Doris. Nice to have you with us. Boy, it's a beautiful sunny day here. Okay, so we are going. I love the Deckled Dies. That was one of the first things that was on my list. I could not wait to get them. It was the same with the stitch rectangles when those came out. Doris, do you have these yet? Morning, Connie. This set, I just love labels. Anytime I can find something that's all sorts of labels, I have so many possibilities that you can do with these things. These are the stamp sets or the die sets that I probably go to the first because the flowers are beautiful, but they're limited to that stamp set. I look at the versatility of what I can do with some of these, and there's so many things that I can do with these. So this was the set that I went with. The problem is, I like my mats to be, good morning, Arla. I like my mats to be smaller. I don't want such a large area. These are the two Deckled Dies that are sized right next to each other. Okay? So that is the size of my mat. And I'm not a mat person. I like that. I like layers, but I don't like large, wide mats. That's why when you see me make my cards, more times than not, they're with a 1/8 inch increment in size. So instead, more times than not, I will take them and I will cut them and make a smaller mat that I can insert. This is from a card for Stamp and Sip tonight. And I wanted to be able to show you that. So you can see I started with a larger mat that is Deckled Died in soft suede. Then I added a little mat that is a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch smaller than that one, and then the ivory mat on top. Let me see if I lay that on here on one of these cards, maybe you can see that a little better with the brown image underneath and the coloring of my mat under there. Okay, so I like less matte showing around the edge. So I was playing with the Deckled Dies, and today I'm going to do my anniversary card that I'm going to share. So I had told you last night on our group page when we were playing with the Memory and More cards that I was going to be continuing with those. So I'm going to try to straighten that up a little bit. And I put that in here, so now it is set, and I just made it worse. I'm real picky. I have to have those lines straight. It drives me nuts if I don't. Okay? All right, so we're going to start with the Deckled Dies, and we're going to play with those, and I'm going to show you how you can customize and get other sets out of it, other mat sizes out of it. We're also going to use the Memories and More cards, and we used those last night, so that was the set that I was going to continue with. This is the Textured Chic Memory and More card bases and the envelopes that match with it. And I have gone in and I have picked out a couple of cards that I wanted to use. I really liked that peach card. But I need something, before I can lay that down, I need something I want cut out of that peach card. I need a label, and I went with the Wave set, and I pulled out a die cut. So give me a second. I'm going to step over here, and I'm going to run it, and I will be right back. Okay. So I wanted that label, and it looks like that. And I know you're gonna think, oh my gosh, it's gonna show. I think when I am finished, it will not show at all, okay? So I'm gonna go on ahead and I'm gonna put this down. But first I'm gonna put this one down. This is another piece that I had. I used another die. It was called the split card texture dies. Here they are. And I went with this one here that has the gingham look. Good morning, Laura. Nice to have you with us. And I did it on the same card as this one. So you get 2 sets, 2 of each card. And I ran it first down here, and then I ran it second time up here. I actually kind of like those little squares in the middle, so I'm just kind of leaving them. If they fell out, they fell out. I'm not going to worry about going back. But I'm going to take my Tombow glue, and I'm going to get this down and adhere this in. So I'm going to start here and just kind of put my Tombow glue in. So I said last night that this was going to be my anniversary card for Jim. Of course, then I also told Pam, you know what that means. That means, Pam, get ready, because he usually calls Pam and says, hey, I need an anniversary card. And so she usually makes 1 or 2 and then lets him pick. You know, that's one of the perks of your wife being a card maker. You got people around that can help fill those voids that you need of those cards without having to go buy it. All right, so I'm gonna keep going here. I'm going around the outside edge, so I've got that side done. And then I'm just going to tap on some of those little squares, because that will help adhere it in the middle of the card so it's not raising up. Okay. Keep going a little more here. So I will tell you guys, if you are new here, I slowly but surely am adding and growing in my business. I knew I needed to do Facebook Lives. So, you know, being not that adventurous of a person, that's when Pam and I started the group. And that's great, but the group doesn't transfer over to public. Once it's a group, you cannot change it over and move anything to videos over. So as we got more confidence, then I started doing Facebook Lives here. Okay. And now I'm moving it over into YouTube. So if you haven't found me on YouTube, do me a favor and go onto YouTube and subscribe to my channel, please. It's Lola Wrist. And now I'm gonna put some adhesive on this side. Did I bring my tape runners? Yep, there they are. Okay. And I'm gonna put this one down directly onto the card. Okay, I love that texture. Isn't that cool? Really, really cool. It just really adds to that card. All right, now I need to go on ahead and I want to put this card on the front, which I knew was going to be fine to cover up my little label that I cut out. But I wanted a decal edge behind it. And when I go to the sizing of the Deckled Dies that they have, this is the one that will work the closest. And you can tell, you know me well enough to know there is no way I can use that because it's too wide. I'm like, oh no, can't handle that. Not too big, too big. So I've got to figure out how can I condense this down and still get that Deckled Die edge that I like. So let me show you a little tip. Okay. I'm going to go with this brushed gold that is in the annual catalog. This is a continuation from last year. It's carrying over. It's 6x6 pieces, and they are brushed gold and rose gold. Gold and rose metallic specialty paper. Really, really pretty. And it's got such a neat feel to it. So I'm gonna go with this because this is the size that comes closest to that piece right there. But now let's do some adjusting. So give me a second to get things moved out of the way. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna fix it so that we can get a smaller mat. Okay, I know I should have new plates on here, but I just keep using and using. You know, I'm all about use until I can't use anymore. So we're gonna take this Deckled Die, and I decided I wanted to make sure that I knew the size of the card that I wanted. So what I'm gonna do is, this is the 3x4 card, and I'm just gonna tape it down like so, and I'm gonna run this. All right, don't worry about where I'm at in terms of, okay. So I'm gonna run it just like that. Notice that I put it fairly close to these edges. These are the ones that at least I know for sure how close I want it to be. Okay? I'm not worried about the top. I'm not worried about that side. I just want to make sure I've got those in place. Working for two sides. All right, and now I'm going to take this sticky note and stick that down, and we're going to run this through. And I more times than not go twice. Hey Zena, nice to have you with us today. All right, so I've got my Deckled Die. This paper is a little thicker than some of our cardstock, so you might have to pull a little to get this out. It's got a paper backing on it, so that means you got to kind of go through two layers. All right, so now let's take the sticky up. Okay, so we have this whole thing set. Let's see if I can move this here for now to show you. We have this set, and this is the size of my card. I'm going to shift it over just a hair. And now I want to get rid of this excess, but I want to do it in such a way that I still get that edge of the Deckled Die. So I'm going to bring it down, and I'm only going to cut two sides now. We've already cut the top or the bottom. We've already cut that side. Now let's cut this side, and we're going to trim it off and still get that deckled edge to it. Give me just a second to get that straight and to be able to live with that. Okay. All right, and we're gonna run this through again. Good morning, Rowena. How are you today, girlfriend? And there we have it. Now look what we have. Let's move the machine out of the way. Take my sticky knot. I do have the magnetic one, but I haven't used it yet, so I'm going without it. So now I was able to get rid of this top excess and the side excess. And can you see that? I have now condensed my side of my decal frame down so that it actually is a smaller deckled frame using the bigger frame. Very, very easy. Just comparing it, moving it around, and cutting off the excess by moving the die to fit. Good morning, Terry Lynn. Nice to have you with us. Oh, there we go. All right, so now we've got this here. By the way, Rowena, I used yours and Candy's repositionable tape on that just so I could get that to pull off. Now we have this piece, and now when I lay this card on it, look. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Trying not to lose everything as I go about this too. All right, so I'm going to take this piece here, and I'm going to lay it here in the middle. I know that this is our 40th anniversary. It's not the golden, but I don't know what is golden, and I really liked the gold with that paper. So, you know, hey, life with me is golden. I'm sure Jim would say that. Not. All right, so there we have that. And I'm going to take some pale papaya ribbon, and I'm going to use that and cut that down. And we're going to finish up my card. And I told you, if you stayed with us, that you would see a wedding picture of us. So 50th is golden. I don't know what 40th is. I don't remember. Jim asked yesterday, he said, so what am I supposed to do for 40th? And I said, I don't know. I don't even remember what he said he was going to. He said, is it this? No, pretty sure it's not that. It was something funny he was back joking about. Okay. All right. So let me finish this. Again, I said if you haven't found me on YouTube, please do me a favor and go on there and subscribe. Even if you don't go, eventually I will go to where I'm doing YouTube videos besides my Facebook. Right now, I'm just learning the process and transferring over. So you will have already seen most of them, but it also is giving me practice. I am a learner by repetitive nature. You know, some people learn by touch, some people learn by hearing. Don't expect me to remember it if you just show me. I don't get it. I have to do. All right, so I'm going to take those, and I love this. Oh, it's a ruby. Oh, that's Pam. Pam is all about rubies. She loves rubies. 40th is a ruby. Okay, so I'm going to take these off, and then we're going to come back over here. And if you were late, I had taken the stylish. No, it's the split card dies, and I had run it first this way, and then I rotated it, and I ran it a second time, so I have that image all over. Okay. Just going to put this one here. And I'm going to put a bow on it. Because, you know, everything's better with a bow and ribbon. Google tells you all you want to know. It is true. Doris, I tell you, it is true. My son is always like, when I ask him for a technology question, he said, have you not Googled it? And I'm like, and he's like, Google it, but just do it right now. So I had to go over. I was having problems. I'd done something to my Apple Watch, and he's like, have you Googled it? No, Google it now. So I Googled it, and there it went. I got it fixed, and he's like, you do not need me to do this. Google it. Okay? This is all kind of a wonky bow. I'm not sure I like that. I'm going to start again. Is wonky a word? I know it's a wonky donkey book. If you have never watched the Wonky Donkey, video of the Scottish grandmother reading the Wonky Donkey book on YouTube. You got to do it. You got to go find her. The Wonky Donkey. All right, back to this. That's better. That's better. All right. So now we clip our dies. And then do you remember I used that little die from the waves and I cut it out of the back of the card that I stapled everything to? It's a riot. Girls, you truly have to go find the Wonky Donkey by the Scottish grandmother. Okay, if there is a set that probably won't leave, and I'm starting to pull, I pulled out a big box yesterday of dies and stamp sets that are going to leave my collection. There are a few that I just cannot get rid of. There's an old set. It was one of my first ones called Trust God. Has great sayings in it for card ministries at church. Another one is, I can see it in my head now and I can't say it. It was one that has all about babies. And it is awesome. It's an old one again with a green label at the top. And it's all about babies. A new baby makes a grandmother. It's about twins. There's one baby plus two. There's one for babies and adoptions. It is a beautiful little set that has all greetings you could possibly want for babies. Why get rid of that one set? This is one of those. This one has celebrating anniversaries. You could have greetings for the insides of your cards on marriage. Here's happy wedding day, Valentine greetings, wedding wishes to the one I love. Happy anniversary, my love. You're engaged. Another one for my husband, for my wife. Happy Valentine's Day, friend. This is a set that if you just really want a good versatile set that's got for multiple uses, this is one that will be going out. I do not believe it made it into the catalog, but it will not leave me because I've got too many things that I can pull out of this. So go back and study that set. All right, so we're gonna do a little stamping and we're not too far from being done. So this is the one that I used from the wave set. And now that I did it, I was like, crumb. I was gonna run that through the ribbon right through that. Crumb, that's okay. Not gonna happen. And I'm gonna use the one that says to my husband. So for my husband. Okay, and I'm using soft suede. And we are getting close to being done. Okay, so I'm gonna pull these off. I'm gonna put this on the front, right here. And I really need some little glue dots. After this is done, I'm gonna put a glue dot under there because that is so small, it lays right on the ribbon, so it's loose, it's up from the card. So I will come back and put a glue dot or two under the ribbon and that will hold it in place. All right, so on the inside, we've got two little things to do and then we're gonna embellish and I will be done. And don't worry, I'm gonna show you the card, the picture. Happy anniversary, my love. Okay. All right. And then I took another deckled frame and I sized it down to our wedding picture. All right, there we are. All of 23 and 26 and a lot of things to do ahead of time. There it is. A lot of life of living. Jim was probably the most relaxed groom you've ever seen. He just, nothing fazed him. Nothing fazed him, okay? And we were married in his church, and his grandmother was there, beaming with pride, because we all know Grandma set us up. So I'm going to take this, and I had also changed the size of my decal frames with the same process of what I did earlier. And I'm going to put that in there. And there we are. There we are. Now we're going to embellish it, and we are done. I could go with the champagne. I believe that I will use the champagne rhinestones on this one. I had multiple things that I could have used. And there, I'm going to put that right on the dot. Oh, and just because I just want to give him a whole bunch of bling for the heck of it. There we go, guys. There's our anniversary card that I will give him next week. Of course, you do realize, Jim, you're going to have to get on Pam to get that card made. You probably are up 2 or 3 cards over me. I'm bad. Sometimes my own family doesn't get. I'm like the cabinet man who can't make cabinets for his wife because he's so busy with everybody else's cabinetry. All right, there's my card, guys. Thank you for being with us today. Look at those Deckled Dies, but pay attention that you can change and you can customize and make them different sizes, all by cutting 2 sides. Cut the whole thing, but cut 2 sides exactly where you want it to be, and then come back and reposition the Deckled Die on top to cut the other 2 sides down, and you will be able to get your cards made. And we have so much more things that you can do with those Deckled Dies. Take care. God bless. Next week, I will not be here on Monday. I'm going to shoot for Tuesday. I got stuck with jury duty on Monday. It's a 1-day jury trial. They've already called, and they said, yeah, it's a 1-day. You'll be fine, because we leave on vacation. And so I'm like, dang, I got to go. So Monday, I will not be here. I will be in the courtroom, and then I will be back on Tuesday. All right, take care. God bless. Love you. Bye-bye.